So this is a Zonohedron, a Zome, and what I'm trying to do today. Day one. So I've got my A panel here, B, C, D. Because I need to start by cutting them in half, that's what I did. So I marked the angle of the bevel here. So this one is 16 degrees, 0, 12, and now I can cut the miters. So here's my first panel, the panel F, the only triangle. So as you can see, we have a bevel on the side here, and then we have the miters. When I have the bevel on the sides, I have to have a compound cut, which means that not only I need to cut 40 degrees this way, I need to cut at 12 degrees this way. This is the outside ring, and it's beveled to the outside. So this is gonna sit like this, and that bottom panel is gonna lean outward. It's gonna be cool. On this side I have to have 40 degree here, which gives me 50 degree here, and I have 12 degree this way. But then to cut this one, yes, and now if we look, we should be, yes, pre-drill, assemble this one. That's our first one. So I just made that bottom triangle here, so this leans outward. Now I'm doing this panel, which is relatively square. This one has only a 6 degree angle here, so I've set my saw at 6 degrees and 11 degrees this way. And one of the cuts is gonna have that bevel, that compound angle. The other one is flat. So very important to not get confused. I've been calling them A and B. I also present them the same way with the bevel against the fence, the lip at the top. Now I can put it back at 0 here. So I'll still do the miter at 11, but now I need a flat back. I made one side, another side, they overlap. I'm about to connect them together. 2 screws per. Would be nice to glue them. Okay. Really important to pre-drill. Panel B here with 7 degrees. 7 degrees, that's the top section here. 11 degrees at the bottom. It'd be nice to have longer screws. So this is panel A, the very top. Make them all. It would have been much faster if I had done a simple version where there's no bevel on here. A little tricky, but it makes them come together very nicely, you know, with the proper curve. Because if I don't do that, then you have a big opening in the front. Much easier to build, but not nearly as good looking, not nearly as strong either. So here I'm gonna assemble them. Here I'm building it in 3D. It was really cool. Good way to wrap my head around the geometry. There are 10 of these. Really cool. First piece of the onion, or the pine cone. So it's end of day one. I managed to do all the F panels, the bottom. I've got the G for the ground. Chop them all into 2 footers first. So right now I'm doing panel D, so I have to take DA with a DB. They come together like this, and right now I have to assemble them. So I mark the direction like this, pre-drill all of them. So I have a countersink pre-drill like this. So of course it follows that face here, and you see how close I am to the edge, because those are pretty small. So it's a must to be pre-drilling. And so A overlaps like this clockwise. And one more. Boom. D. So D actually goes here. So as you can see, I'm putting only 3 panels together, and we already have an interesting shape coming. I'm gonna start in one corner here. Okay. It's pretty nice. Coming together. So to put a block stop, saves a lot of time. Alright, so that's another B panel. Get in there. Nice. It arrives at the tip, that's what we want. Top one here. Okay, hopefully that works. So this is the top panel, and this is the most complicated one. It's a 66-degree angle, so instead I have to do 24, which means I have to put the piece this way, which is a little dangerous. I also need to have a compound cut, and this time it's 14 degree. And there you have it. The goal is to do all the cuts today, and I'm really close. Got a helper today. Doing a good job. Looks great.
Good?
Uh-huh. Makes it nice and smooth so we don't tear it apart when we put plastic or canvas on it. Cool. You can do this too? Nice.
Yeah, this.
While you're up there.
Or we could do an antenna.
Let's tap into the ether. I love to see copper strands ground the whole thing. That would be interesting. Grounded bubble. Finally finished all the panels. So I've been cleaning around. I'm hoping to set it up here or down there just for some pictures. Yeah, exciting. Made it so far to do the complete shell just to get started. And I wanted to make a door that does not change the outside shape, so that when you're inside and outside, both for the look but inside for the acoustic and all, it's still the actual geometry, so that we can have a full experience whether we're doing sound or light and projection inside. Okay, so this is the simplest version of the door I can do. So as you see, it works. But the idea is to keep it simple and especially be able to keep that shape. Hello Kirsten. So today I finally did the door in the original way. I thought of still keeping that shape, but splitting those triangles, because the other one was fun, but yes, a little threatening with all those points. So of course it's still a little wonky because no panel is closed and the base is still not attached. But it looks nice. Does not disturb too much the aesthetic. So I like it. So I'm gonna have to do door jambs here, and of course do the rim at the bottom. But here I'm at the point where I can actually take it all apart again. I wanted to do that to have a couple pictures to prove the concept. Now I'm gonna take it all apart so that it's easier to do the final routing, sanding, and then staining everything so that all the faces are stained and protected. And then I can figure out whether I put plastic on them or not, because if I do put plastic on them, I'm gonna wrap it before and have the plastic go in between here, so there will be no visible staples, just a tape on the seam here. That'd be awesome for a greenhouse. So anyway, this one is your best friend on this project. It's really helpful, and you just can set it up like this, and this way when I remove the screws I make sure that it's not pulling things out.